Hello everyone, my name is Danielle and welcome to Dani's DIY. In today's video, I'm finally getting my garden planted. I don't know about you, but the winter here just sucks and it just drags the life out of me. So I've been waiting patiently for the weather to warm up. It's pushing 70 today. Just a quick disclaimer before I get into things. I'm not a professional. I'm pretty much self-taught through trial and error. I watch a lot of YouTube videos and probably spend too many hours scrolling through Pinterest, but I guess so. Treat this video more as an inspirational for your own DIYs rather than a strictly how-to. So that being said, let's get into it. All right, before I get my garden planted, I'm going to be putting down some garden fabric. I'm trying to make it as low maintenance as possible. I really don't have time to be doing weeding every day, so we're going to put this down. It's hard to use the fabric and then plant through. I'm going to show you how I plan to do that in a little bit later, but first, in order to keep the fabric from flying all over the place and blowing around with the wind, you gotta put stakes down, like they're garden staples. I don't have any, so I kind of improvised, which is what I do a lot because I don't always have the stuff I need for my projects. I have a bunch of these just flimsy wire hangers. I don't use them. They don't really hold my clothes very well in the closet. They're too flimsy. So I grabbed a pair of side cutters and I basically just cut the ends of the hanger off to make some garden staples. Living in the city, I don't have a huge backyard, so I'm just kind of using what I have. I had this old flower bed that I just ordered a yard of garden soil in and filled that back in. We've had a lot of rain the past couple days, so you can see the building next door, they lost their gutters and they haven't replaced them, so that might be interesting with the rain beating straight down. I'll have to figure out some way to take care of that, but you can see where it splashed all the dirt up on the wall there. But before I get planting, I'm going to just take a rake to the dirt and smooth it out a little bit, and then I'm going to put my garden fabric down. Say hi to the cat. Hi, Chewy. The roll of fabric I got is approximately 3 feet wide, which is going to work out perfectly. So as you can see, my garden plot is about the same width. I'm going to have to cut around this area of brick here on the building as I go along, but it's going to be perfect. So I won't have to do, I can just do one roll all the way across. I spent like $7 on it, so it wasn't that expensive. Now here you can see where I've got the hangers pushed down into the fabric. And I'm going to do that every so many feet. All you got to do is just take your hanger and just gently pierce it through the fabric, stick it down into the dirt, just like that. And I'm going to keep going along, get this rolled all the way down to the end there, and just stake every few feet as I go. Alright, so I had already put these bricks down to kind of put a barrier between my peony plants and the rest of the garden. So I just tucked the end of the fabric under there, and then I staked it. I don't know, I didn't really measure, probably anywhere between 2.5 to 4 feet apart. I cut out the sections around the brick so it would lay flat around there and just tucked the loose edge underneath. I couldn't get a stake against the wall there. I think there's some brick or rock underneath that was stopping it from going down. So I just stuck a brick on top there to keep the edge there from flapping around. And then I staked it all the way down. And then again on this end where my peonies are, I had already edged that out, so I just tucked the end of that underneath those bricks. So now we're ready for the next step. Alright, now I'm starting to mark out the spacing on my plots here. You can use stakes and string. I had a piece of chalk laying around and I thought that would work pretty good because I don't really need them to stay once the plants are in the ground. And that works really great on this fabric right now. So I'm going to finish marking out my spacing for my plants and then get to making holes in the fabric. And here's my grid, just roughly drawn out with chalk. It took me probably about 5 minutes to do it. You don't have to be perfect. And I've got, they're 1 foot squares. So it's my basic grid to get me started with my plant spacing. Got my plants laid out. Some of them are going to need stakes, so I've got those sitting next to where I'm going to put those. Got my tomato cages. Put those in the ground. Beans and peas are going to need poles. And then I've got my squash and zucchini over here. I'm gonna build them a trellis here with some stakes and twine. I commissioned my hubby to build me a fire here. Check that out. Perfect little holes. Smooth melted edges there, so the fabric's not gonna tear as I plant my vegetables in there. There we go. She's coming along pretty good. Starting to build up my poles for my squashes and cucumbers. I'm so excited. After I got everything planted, I made sure that I soaked it really good. Everything survived the transplanting, so we've got watermelons here, a couple different varieties. I'm going to train them as they grow to grow away from the rest of my vegetables here because they're going to kind of take over. I've got some Brussels sprouts, a few different varieties, or a couple different varieties of hot peppers here. Some beefsteak and cherry tomatoes. I have my bell peppers over here on the other side, away from the hot peppers. I just didn't want them cross-pollinating. I don't know if that's going to affect the flavor of the peppers, so I just wanted to keep them separate. You can see I've got a bunch of extra holes here where the beans and peas are, because I like to stagger crop, make sure you've got a continuous supply, so I'm going to plant in here as I go every few weeks. I've got pumpkins here. Those are going to take over too, so I don't have to worry, but really try to train those up the trellis if I can, as well as my cucumbers and summer squash. And that is everything in. In the back here you can see these little holes. I'm going to try a little bit of an experiment. I want to try to grow corn, so I'm hoping that I can just plant through these holes. I'll have to keep an eye on them as they start to sprout to make sure the sprouts are coming up through the holes. But I've got them all the way down the back of the garden here so that I can start planting. I've got about 4 feet planted in these back holes right now. I'll give you an update as I go, as they start to sprout, and see if this works. So yeah, every week, or I think every week or every 2 weeks, I'm going to plant another couple feet of corn back here, just along the back. And then the only thing I have really to worry about is when the rain comes down, if it's going to smash on these plants where the gutter drips smashes right down onto this back row here. So I'm hoping that I measured it right, so the rain should come right down between the back row of corn and the front row of vegetables there. So, and with the fabric down, it shouldn't splash the dirt around too much. And that is my garden.